The Anunnaki's role in Sumerian mythology is not just about being gods who shaped the world. They were also deeply connected to the very fabric of Sumerian society. They weren't simply revered beings. They were integral to how the Sumerians understood their world and their place within it. The Sumerians believed that the Anunnaki were responsible for establishing the natural order and introducing key elements that were necessary for the development of civilization. Take, for example, the creation of human beings. The Sumerians believed that the Anunnaki, at the direction of their supreme god An, played a significant role in the creation of humanity. According to the myths, the gods originally created humans to serve them, to tend to their needs and work the land. This was, in essence, a divine purpose assigned to humankind. Yet, the story is more complex than mere subjugation. The Anunnaki were also seen as nurturers, offering their knowledge, skills, and technology to help human civilization thrive. Through them, the Sumerians were able to develop agriculture, writing, and even basic forms of governance. The gift of knowledge was seen as a sacred act that bound humanity to the divine. Consider the development of agriculture, one of the most significant achievements in early human history. The Anunnaki were believed to have introduced the Sumerians to farming techniques that transformed them from nomadic hunter-gatherers into settled agriculturalists. This change was pivotal, laying the foundation for cities and, by extension, a sophisticated, urban society. The Sumerians also developed a calendar based on the lunar cycles, and it's said that the Anunnaki were involved in the creation of this timekeeping system. This calendar was integral for organizing the agricultural year, helping the Sumerians determine the best times for planting and harvesting crops. The Sumerians also credited the Anunnaki with teaching them to craft and use tools, specifically the wheel and the sailboat, both of which would have been revolutionary in their time. The wheel would change transportation forever, and the sailboat would allow the Sumerians to trade with neighboring civilizations, connecting them to distant lands and cultures. These advances in technology allowed Sumer to become a thriving, prosperous civilization, setting the stage for future empires to rise in the region. But beyond these practical contributions, the Anunnaki were also believed to have imparted moral and legal systems to humanity. The Sumerians attributed their early legal codes, which formed the basis for later legal systems in the ancient world, to the Anunnaki. These laws were seen as divinely inspired, with the gods themselves laying down the rules for justice, fairness, and order. The idea of divine law was crucial in Sumerian society, where kings and rulers were believed to be appointed by the gods and had a divine responsibility to uphold these laws. The Anunnaki were also said to have played a role in shaping the governance of Sumer. The kings who ruled the Sumerian cities were not just secular leaders. They were believed to have been chosen by the gods to serve as their earthly representatives. In a sense, the kings were thought to act as intermediaries between the Anunnaki and the people, ensuring that the will of the gods was carried out in the material world. This belief gave rulers an almost godlike authority, and it reinforced the divine right of kingship that would persist throughout much of ancient history. It's fascinating to see how the Anunnaki were not just figures of worship, but also the very foundation of Sumerian culture, technology, and governance. Their influence was so profound that it's hard to overstate their importance. They were the educators, the rulers, and the protectors of the Sumerian people. Through their gifts, the Sumerians were able to build one of the first true civilizations, with all the complexity and sophistication that entailed. Yet, as we look at these myths, it's also important to recognize that the stories surrounding the Anunnaki were not just about the past, they were also about the future. The Sumerians understood that their relationship with the gods was ongoing, and their mythology served as a way of explaining not only their origins, but their destiny as well. In this sense, the Anunnaki were more than just mythological figures. They were guides, offering a blueprint for the future. Their teachings were seen as timeless truths, offering lessons about the nature of humanity, the divine, and the world itself. What's particularly intriguing is how the legacy of the Anunnaki has influenced later civilizations. The idea of gods descending from the heavens and interacting with humans is a theme that can be found in many other cultures. For example, in Babylonian mythology, the Anunnaki played a similar role, and their influence can also be seen in other ancient myths, including those from the Hebrews and the Greeks. The concept of divine beings coming down from the sky to interact with humanity became a central theme in many ancient stories, and it continues to capture the imagination of people to this day. The question of where the Anunnaki came from, however, remains a mystery that has sparked the imaginations of scholars, historians, and enthusiasts alike. Many theories abound about the origins of the Anunnaki, with some suggesting that they were extraterrestrial beings who visited Earth long ago. This theory has gained popularity in recent years, especially among proponents of the ancient astronaut hypothesis, which posits that extraterrestrial beings visited Earth in antiquity and influenced the development of human civilization. Whether or not this theory holds any weight is still a subject of debate, but it's undeniable that the Anunnaki story continues to captivate and intrigue. As we look back on the myths and legends of the Anunnaki, it's clear that their role in Sumerian society was anything but passive. They were active participants in the shaping of humanity's future, offering wisdom, guidance, and technological advancements that allowed civilizations to flourish. Their influence reached far beyond the temples and ziggurats of ancient Mesopotamia. It extended into the very way people thought about the world, the gods, and their place in the universe. The Anunnaki weren't just gods. They were the architects of civilization itself, laying the foundation for the great empires that would follow. Zecharia Sitchin's theories about the Anunnaki and Nibiru sparked significant debate and curiosity about the origins of human civilization. According to Sitchin, the Anunnaki were extraterrestrial beings who came to Earth from a distant planet called Nibiru. This planet, he argued, had an elliptical orbit that brought it close to Earth once every 3,600 years. Sitchin claimed that the Anunnaki came to Earth seeking gold, a precious resource they needed to repair their home planet's deteriorating atmosphere. This gold, according to Sitchin's interpretation, had a unique property that could help restore the atmosphere of Nibiru, a planet he described as being many times the size of Earth, covered in iron oxide and predominantly red in color. Sitchin's theory centered on the idea that the Anunnaki, in their search for gold, genetically engineered humans to serve as laborers in their gold mines. This manipulation, Sitchin suggested, happened around 450,000 years ago and marked the beginning of human civilization. The Anunnaki, he argued, were not gods in the traditional sense, but advanced beings from another planet whose knowledge and technology far surpassed that of early humans. Sitchin's interpretation of the ancient Sumerian texts, particularly the Enuma Elish, was radical for its time. He believed these texts described real extraterrestrial encounters rather than mythological stories, with the Anunnaki as the key players in these accounts. One of the most intriguing aspects of Sitchin's theory was his argument that the Anunnaki's advanced technology enabled them to introduce significant innovations to early human societies. He claimed that the Anunnaki were responsible for the development of key aspects of civilization, including agriculture, the wheel, writing systems, mathematics, and even the building of cities. These technological advancements, Sitchin suggested, could not have been achieved by early humans without the guidance of these extraterrestrial visitors. He pointed to the Sumerians' rapid advancements in these fields as evidence of an outside influence, claiming that such leaps forward were unlikely to have been made by humans alone. Sitchin's interpretation of the Epic of Gilgamesh also added to his theory. He argued that the epic, which tells the story of the hero Gilgamesh and his quest for immortality, contained references to the Anunnaki and their interactions with humans. In Sitchin's view, Gilgamesh was not just a legendary figure, but a representation of a real person who had encountered the Anunnaki and learned from them. The story of Gilgamesh's journey to the cedar forest, where he defeats the guardian Humbaba, was seen by Sitchin as a symbolic representation of the Anunnaki's control over sacred spaces and their role as rulers of the ancient world. In addition to his focus on the Anunnaki, Sitchin also made bold claims about the planet Nibiru itself. He argued that Nibiru's orbit was so long and eccentric that it caused it to pass through the inner solar system approximately every 3,600 years. This, according to Sitchin, explained the cyclical nature of the Anunnaki's visits to Earth. The return of Nibiru would bring the Anunnaki back to Earth, potentially influencing human history once again. This periodic arrival, Sitchin suggested, could account for the rise and fall of ancient civilizations, as well as certain cataclysmic events in Earth's history that might have been triggered by the Anunnaki's actions. Sitchin's theories also raised questions about the origins of other ancient myths and legends. He proposed that many of the world's mythologies, especially those from Mesopotamia, Egypt, and the Near East, were actually distorted accounts of real events involving the Anunnaki. The gods of these ancient civilizations, Sitchin argued, were not supernatural beings, but rather advanced extraterrestrial visitors. This idea of ancient gods as extraterrestrial beings aligned with the broader ancient astronaut theory, which posits that the gods worshipped by ancient civilizations were actually aliens who played a pivotal role in shaping human history. One of the most controversial aspects of Sitchin's theories was his interpretation of ancient Sumerian texts. He suggested that the Sumerians had knowledge of Nibiru and the Anunnaki long before modern science had discovered any evidence of such a planet. Sitchin claimed that the Sumerian tablets contained coded references to Nibiru's orbit, the Anunnaki's arrival on Earth, and even the creation of human beings. However, his interpretations were not widely accepted by scholars, who criticized his methods and his translations of the ancient texts. Many experts in the fields of archaeology, linguistics, and astronomy argued that Sitchin's theories lacked solid evidence and that his translations of ancient Sumerian and Akkadian texts were inaccurate. Despite the criticism, Sitchin's ideas found a dedicated following among those interested in alternative history and ancient astronaut theories. His books, such as The 12th Planet, The Wars of Gods and Men, and When Time Began, became bestsellers and were widely circulated within fringe academic circles and online communities. His theories also caught the attention of documentary filmmakers and TV shows, which further popularized his ideas. The concept of extraterrestrial beings influencing ancient human civilization became a central theme in many modern depictions of ancient history, from speculative documentaries to science fiction. One of the key points of Sitchin's theory is that the Anunnaki are still relevant today, with their possible return tied to the next passage of Nibiru through our solar system. Sitchin suggested that the Anunnaki's long cycle of visits could have profound implications for humanity, especially as they approach Earth once again. This notion of a coming cataclysm or transformation has become a central aspect of many conspiracy theories, with some speculating that the return of the Anunnaki could lead to a new era for humanity. However, it's important to note that while Sitchin's theories have been widely criticized, they have also inspired a great deal of curiosity about the ancient world and the possibility of extraterrestrial life. Whether or not one accepts Sitchin's interpretation of the ancient texts, his work has undeniably contributed to the ongoing fascination with ancient mysteries and the search for answers about our origins. Sitchin's ideas also reflect a broader cultural interest in the unknown and the possibility that our history might be far more complex than we've been taught. In an era where the search for life beyond Earth is a real scientific endeavor, Sitchin's theories tap into the imagination of those who believe that our ancient ancestors may have had contact with beings from other worlds. Whether or not these theories are ultimately proven true, Sitchin's work has left an enduring legacy in the fields of alternative history and ancient astronaut theories. The Anunnaki myth and the One Piece storyline, though originating from vastly different cultural and narrative contexts, share striking similarities when it comes to themes and motifs that resonate through their respective plots. Both tales delve into the origins of power, the pursuit of a grand mystery, and the relationships between gods, humans, and extraordinary forces that shape the course of history. While the Anunnaki myth is grounded in ancient Sumerian mythology, and One Piece is a modern, globally successful anime manga series, exploring the parallels between these two stories highlights the timeless nature of certain archetypal narratives that continue to capture human imagination. At the core of both stories, we find the idea of extraordinary beings or forces influencing the course of human history. In the case of the Anunnaki, these beings are extraterrestrial gods who are believed to have played a pivotal role in the creation of humanity and the rise of ancient civilizations, specifically Sumer. The Anunnaki are often depicted as gods who, according to some interpretations, gave humanity knowledge, advanced technology, and the tools necessary to build complex societies. However, their motivations aren't entirely altruistic. Many versions of the myth suggest that they came to Earth in search of resources, particularly gold, which they needed to save their own planet, Nibiru. Thus, the Anunnaki represent a force that is at once divine and pragmatic, driven by their own survival needs, but also imparting their wisdom and power to the early stages of human civilization. Similarly, One Piece also centers around a group of characters who are shaped by the influence of extraordinary beings. The world of One Piece is filled with powerful figures, such as the celestial dragons, the world government, and the ancient weapons, who control the flow of history in the world of pirates, adventurers, and treasure hunters. These figures hold tremendous power, influencing the course of events and the lives of those who seek freedom, adventure, and ultimately, the legendary treasure known as the One Piece. The story's protagonist, Monkey D. Luffy, embarks on a journey to find this treasure, unaware of the larger, complex forces at play that influence the world around him. Much like the Anunnaki's involvement with humanity, the One Piece world's gods and rulers wield their power over vast swathes of history, from shaping political systems to influencing the development of the world's cultures and societies. Another parallel between the Anunnaki myth and One Piece is the presence of a grand hidden truth that drives the story forward. In Sumerian mythology, the Anunnaki are depicted as powerful beings with secret knowledge, including the creation of humanity itself. This hidden knowledge, encoded in ancient texts and mythologies, was passed down through the generations and contained the keys to understanding humanity's origins and purpose. However, much of this knowledge was deliberately kept secret or obscured, either to protect humanity from certain truths or because the Anunnaki themselves had their own agendas. The pursuit of this secret knowledge is central to many modern interpretations of the Anunnaki myth, with people trying to uncover the true origins of human beings and their place in the universe. In One Piece, this theme of hidden knowledge plays a crucial role as well. The Will of D, the mystery behind the One Piece treasure, the Void Century, and the Lost History are all parts of the hidden truth that the characters seek to uncover. Luffy and his crew, much like humanity in the Anunnaki myth, are on a quest to reveal long-buried secrets that have been hidden from the world for centuries. In One Piece, the world's leaders, like the world government and the celestial dragons, have gone to great lengths to suppress the knowledge of the Void Century, a period of history that holds the answers to the mysteries surrounding the One Piece and the ancient civilization that once existed. Just as the Anunnaki were keepers of knowledge and secrets, the forces in One Piece work to maintain the status quo and prevent the revelation of truths that could destabilize the world order. The motif of the divine bloodline, or chosen ones, is another striking parallel between the Anunnaki myth and One Piece. In Sumerian mythology, the Anunnaki are often associated with beings who are descended from a higher, celestial lineage. This concept of divine or semi-divine beings has been a common theme in many mythologies throughout history, and the Anunnaki are often portrayed as being of a higher, more advanced nature than ordinary humans. This connection to a higher power often means that those chosen by the Anunnaki, or those who are descended from them, possess special abilities, wisdom, or knowledge that ordinary humans do not. In One Piece, the idea of a chosen bloodline is seen in characters such as Luffy, who is connected to the mysterious Will of D, a lineage that has been part of the world's hidden history. This bloodline, though not fully understood, is seen as being significant in the unfolding of the world's events. Characters like Gol D. Roger, the Pirate King, also share this mysterious connection, and it is implied that Luffy's journey to find the One Piece is in part a fulfillment of a long-standing prophecy connected to this bloodline. Just as the Anunnaki's legacy is passed down through generations, the concept of a divine or special bloodline is essential to One Piece's central narrative. Another key motif in both stories is the idea of a transformative journey, both for the characters and for the world they inhabit. In the Anunnaki myth, humanity's creation and evolution are marked by the intervention of the Anunnaki, who shaped the course of human history. This idea of transformation, of humanity evolving under the guidance or influence of a higher power, is a central theme in many ancient creation myths, and the Anunnaki are often seen as the agents of this transformation. In One Piece, the transformative journey is more personal, focusing on the growth and evolution of characters like Luffy and his crew. Luffy's journey to find the One Piece is not just about discovering treasure, but about transforming the world, breaking down oppressive systems, and allowing the people to find their own freedom. Like the Anunnaki's influence on humanity, Luffy's journey challenges the established order, bringing change to a world that has been shaped by centuries of tradition and control. The journey itself is as much about self-discovery and personal growth as it is about the end goal. At its heart, both the Anunnaki myth and One Piece explore the relationship between power, knowledge, and the forces that shape history. In both stories, extraordinary beings, whether they are ancient gods or celestial rulers, wield immense power over the fate of the world. However, in both narratives, the individuals who stand up against this power, whether it's humanity in the Anunnaki myth or Luffy and his crew in One Piece, are the ones who drive the story forward, challenging the status quo and uncovering truths that have been hidden for centuries. Through these themes and motifs, both the Anunnaki myth and One Piece offer timeless reflections on power, freedom, and the search for meaning in a world shaped by forces far beyond human comprehension. Imagine this. The year is 2045, and the world is on the brink of a technological revolution. Advances in AI, robotics, and space exploration have rapidly transformed society. However, a discovery deep beneath the Antarctic ice would change everything. An ancient Sumerian artifact, an obelisk inscribed with strange, otherworldly symbols, has been unearthed. The artifact is believed to be 6,000 years old, predating human civilization as we know it. It quickly becomes the subject of intense study, sparking international interest. As scientists and historians scramble to decode the symbols, an unexpected event occurs. In a remote part of the world, a massive electromagnetic disturbance is detected, followed by a strange, rhythmic signal coming from space, almost like a beacon calling out to someone. The signal matches the long-forgotten coordinates believed to be linked to the planet Nibiru, the mythical home of the Anunnaki. The world is thrown into chaos as experts realize this could be the long-awaited return of the Anunnaki, the gods of Sumerian myth. The world governments, led by an international coalition of scientists and military leaders, come together to form a secret task force. Their mission: to communicate with the Anunnaki and understand their intentions. The team includes linguists, astrophysicists, and ancient civilization experts, all working tirelessly to decode the symbols on the obelisk and the signals sent from space. After months of research, a breakthrough occurs. The symbols on the obelisk are found to be a type of ancient code, one that mirrors a language once used by the Anunnaki. The decoded message reads, "We return to those who have remembered the past. We seek the legacy of our creation." Suddenly, a series of lights appear in the sky. A massive circular craft descends, hovering over the location of the obelisk. It's unlike any technology humans have ever seen, a combination of organic and mechanical elements shimmering with a strange, radiant energy. The craft lands softly, sending shockwaves through the surrounding environment. A figure emerges, not quite human but not entirely alien either. They are tall, with an ethereal presence, their skin glowing faintly, as if embedded with some kind of energy. Their eyes reflect the knowledge of the ages, and their voice resonates in the minds of those present, bypassing the need for speech. They introduce themselves as Anu, the leader of the Anunnaki, and explain that they are returning to Earth after millennia to reclaim their ancient legacy and restore balance to the planet. The Anunnaki, it turns out, have been watching humanity's progress from afar, observing how their creation, us, has evolved. Over the centuries, the Anunnaki have maintained their connection with Earth, their influence woven through ancient mythologies and the rise and fall of civilizations. But now, as Earth faces unprecedented challenges, from climate change to political instability, Anu and the Anunnaki have returned to intervene, guiding humanity toward a new era of growth and understanding. However, not all of humanity is ready to accept the return of the Anunnaki. A faction of powerful global leaders and corporations, fearful of losing control, sees the Anunnaki as a threat. They view their intervention as a challenge to their authority and influence. These factions begin to sabotage the communication efforts, seeking to block or manipulate the messages from the Anunnaki for their own gain. As tensions rise, a select group of individuals, scientists, philosophers, and activists come together to form an underground alliance. They believe the Anunnaki hold the key to solving the planet's most pressing issues and see their return as a chance for humanity to evolve into a new phase of existence. But convincing the world of the Anunnaki's peaceful intentions and restoring trust between the factions becomes the greatest challenge of all. The Anunnaki, with their advanced technology and vast knowledge, offer humanity solutions, energy sources that are clean, unlimited, and could end the world's dependence on fossil fuels. They share insights into the nature of the universe, the origins of life, and the true potential of human beings. However, the technology they offer is not without its risks. The same energy that could power cities could also be weaponized, and the vast knowledge could be misused by those with darker intentions. As humanity grapples with these gifts, they also face an internal battle, the desire for progress and enlightenment, tempered by the fear of change and the unknown. Can humanity accept the guidance of the Anunnaki, or will the fear of losing control cause civilization to crumble? In the midst of this global turmoil, Lyra, a young archaeologist and descendant of a forgotten Sumerian bloodline, emerges as an unexpected leader. Lyra holds the key to unlocking the ancient texts and symbols that the Anunnaki left behind. She has spent her life studying the obscure and hidden aspects of Sumerian culture, believing that the gods of ancient Mesopotamia were far more than myth. Now she must use her knowledge to bridge the gap between the Anunnaki and humanity, helping to navigate the fine line between cooperation and domination. Lyra's journey is filled with challenges. She must deal with betrayal from within her own ranks, confront her own doubts about the true nature of the Anunnaki, and learn to trust in the wisdom of a civilization far older than anything humanity has ever known. Along the way, she uncovers long-forgotten secrets about the Anunnaki's true motives and their original intentions for Earth. Was their intervention in human history truly an act of creation, or was it part of a larger cosmic plan that remains hidden? As the story unfolds, Lyra finds herself at the center of a global movement, leading the charge to unite humanity under the guidance of the Anunnaki. But the question remains, can humanity evolve with the Anunnaki, or will they be doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past? In the final act, as tensions reach a boiling point and the future of Earth hangs in the balance, Lyra must make a fateful decision: embrace the Anunnaki's offer and usher in a new era of cooperation, or stand against them and risk losing everything that humanity has worked for. Will the Anunnaki be the saviors of Earth, or will they prove to be the harbingers of a new age of dominance? The fate of the planet rests in the hands of those who are willing to challenge their beliefs, face the unknown, and dare to trust in the ancient gods that have returned to reshape the world.